Well, hello again, Jessica. So you expressed, as you came in earlier, that you were having trouble with finding an apartment. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So in today's session, we're going to talk about um, that situation. And but before we get started, I want to just go over a few things with you. First of all, we're gonna talk about informed consent.
Okay.
Um, Anything that you talk about in here is strictly confidential. It will not be repeated outside of this office. Um, if at any time you feel uncomfortable about anything that we talk about, feel free to let me know and we can stop the recording. Um, as far as like things being talked about being confidential, it will not be repeated unless you present yourself as of harm to yourself and of others.
Okay.
But we are going to talk about first is issues and concerns um, regarding you finding an apartment, amongst other things related to that. After that, we'll talk about some strengths that you have. We're also going to talk about some goals in relation to finding an apartment for you, and we're also going to, brainstorm some things like figure out what goals you feel like would work best to go with that, and hopefully at the end, you can leave with something that'll help you get started with the whole process. Does
Okay,
that sound
good.
about good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So first off, just tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Okay, so I am currently a full time graduate student at the School of Education at North Carolina Central University. I'm studying to be a school counselor. In the past, I worked as a college advisor where I worked with high school students and helped them through the college process. So, help them apply to college, help them find, like, fill out their FAFSA and things like that. And I worked really closely with school counselors, and I just felt like this is my way to get back into school and get back into working with these students and helping them to, achieve their goals. So that's kind of why in the graduate program. I also have a job, part-time job. I still work with the same organization that I served as a college advisor with, but now I'm more of administrative support, so supporting the administrative team that are working closely with the advisors. I don't necessarily work with the advisors, but kind of the two, having a job and being in grad school is pretty overwhelming, and kind of why I've come in today, because now I'm adding in a third thing. I'm commuting to both, and it's really taking a toll on myself.
Okay. Okay. So you said that you are a full-time graduate student in the counseling program at NCCU, and you're majoring in school counseling, and you say you were majoring in something else as well.
No, I just said school counseling.
Just school counseling.
Hmm.
Okay, so just school counseling, and you said you gained interest in that program because you served as a college advisor at UNC, and you were helping students out with the college application process and their FAFSA applications, and
Hmm.
that really inspired you to pursue a degree in school counseling. And you said now with this same job, you work part time,
Hmm.
but not with you. You don't really interact with advisors. You just do you're on the administrative end
Hmm.
now of college advising, and so that kind of leads into you coming in today because you want to seek an apartment or a place to stay that's closer, so that you won't have to commute to and fro from home.
Right. Yeah. So right now, I probably live about an hour away from where I work and where I go to school. And for me, growing up, I've had to drive an hour to get to a major city, anyways, for shopping or just to have something fun to do, go to the movies, anything like that. So it really is not the biggest deal to drive an hour, but and you're pretty much working 5 days a week, and I only have class one day a week, but I have group projects and study sessions and all that kind of keep me in the area all throughout the week. So now that driving an hour every day is starting to take a toll on me, and I really would like to get an apartment so that I could just be closer to my daily activities.
Okay. So you expressed that growing up, the hour drive, you were pretty much used to that,
Mm-hmm.
even throughout high school, but and even in college, sometimes if you need to go home or anything like that. But being that you're in grad school now and you're working part time, also, it's kind of taking a toll on you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just the other week, I was here um, probably at least to 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, trying to get an assignment done, a group project done.
Hmm.
And I mean, if I'm leaving here at 2 in the morning, I'm not getting home to 3 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, I'm not probably going to bed until about 3:30, and then I'm having to get up at 6:30 to come back and do it all over again. So I mean, I'm not sleeping as much as I would like to. And at some point, it like almost makes me like physically sick because not sleeping like I'm supposed to, and sometimes I'm not eating as I'm supposed to either. So I mean, I just feel like all of that can be taken care of by finding an apartment.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is you're pretty stressed out because of this hour commute, and it's not only playing into um, like just being tired physically, but even it's interfering with your social life as well. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like I don't have a life outside of school and work. I mean, here and there, I do find time to do things that I want to do, but it has its consequences as well. But I mean, I just feel like if I actually lived in the area, it would that hour commute would cut reduced um like extremely. So that's some extra time that I would be able to maybe sleep
Right.
or do other things.
Right. So you're saying, with you finding this apartment, you would have more time on your hands, not only to get schoolwork done, but to enjoy other things as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this apartment hunting process, or wherever you would like to stay potentially, what are some steps you've already taken towards this process?
So I have looked up a few apartments online, and I've looked at the pictures online, and I have kind of mapped out a few that I would be interested in based off their what they look like and based off their rent range, I guess. Because I'm on a tight budget, like me being in grad school. I didn't want to take out like a bunch of loans, and then I mean, I work part time, but I mean it's not a full time job, so I'm really on a tight budget as far as the apartment that I want. But I haven't gone to visit any apartments. I've just only looked at them online.
Hmm.
So that's kind of like where I am with it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're starting to take the initiative, the first steps, which is, actually looking online, looking at different rates and pictures of different apartments to see, potentially where you would like to visit. So I had to, commend you on that. Um, Also, what are some other steps that you've
Um,
taken?
mm, well, I mean, I've talked to like my siblings, like they both like even in college they moved off campus and got an apartment. So they've had an apartment probably at least the majority of their adult life.
Okay.
So like apartment hunting is nothing to them. But me, I've never lived on my own. I've never had an apartment. So, I mean, I've looked to them for advice to kind of help me, like, make sure that I'm getting the best deal and that I know, like, kind of the ins and out, like, are all my utilities going to be included, or is it going to have a washer and dryer? But they've also kind of told me, like, they don't want to give me too much advice because they don't want it to seem like it's the apartment that they want instead of the apartment that I want.